it's empathy. So when I work, I always try to talk to the users, the real users of the apps I'm designing, and hear what are their concerns, what are their pain points, and think about just how I can help them with the product I'm designing. On the other hand, I have experience and my background is in business management. So I also think about the company goals, the strategic decisions I need to take, and sometimes it's a battle, and basically it's a constant dance between what user needs and what are company goals and what the strategy is. But I think this ability to blend both empathy and this business side of thinking is actually what drives the best solutions. So I think that's my greatest strength. This is something I hear from my clients. I'm so empathetic. I'm so positive. They like to work with me. And each time when I do a project, they come back. I work on another project. I get recommendations. So throughout the years, I figured, okay, it's not my strength that I really know how to design and I design great products. My biggest strength is this empathy and this approach I have to people, especially with clients. When we meet, most of the time, I have a smile on my face and I'm a pretty positive person. And this is something they really like. And I act on every product like it's my own. And yeah, this is something that differentiates me from the others. It's definitely AI. It really excites me, but also scares me. I think it's really, really, really powerful, but when you use it blindly, it can make more harm than it can bring you some good results. For example, you have tools that can generate a screen in like 2 minutes, and there are some people that just use it and they don't ask any questions. So is this helpful? Is this solving the problems we are trying to solve? Is this aligned with our company's voice, our tone, our branding, our strategy at first? Yes, it looks beautiful, but what's in the background? So I think women in that part are really needed because, to be honest, someone presents a solution and we see 5 problems to the path to that solution. And that's okay because we ask the questions. Okay, is this useful? I know it looks pretty, but what's the point? Okay, so I think we need all the voices at the table, specifically here. We need all the diversity possible to really make good decisions and not just blindly follow the new trends. The biggest myth is that you need to have a certain background. You need to know everything. You need to try extra hard to belong in tech. And that's not true. The background doesn't matter. It certainly helps. But if you're curious, if you want to push hard, if you want to learn, then I think you already belong in tech. So I have a background in business management. I started as an engineer. And then I became a designer. So it's not a clear path, and that's okay. You just need to jump in to try and see where it leads you. So it's like a playground, and everyone deserves to play in it.
What excites me the most is integration of AI and gamified learning in IT education. I think it makes complex ideas and concepts more engaging for kids, especially in elementary schools. I think introducing kids to coding and especially introducing them to digital literacy can help them become active creators rather than just being passive consumers of technology. I think it's also very important to build the problem-solving skills, also analytical thinking, and their confidence, which they can later use in further education, in career, and in everyday life in general. Integration of AI and gamified learning in elementary schools and high schools, of course, can also help children and teens gain confidence, especially maybe some children who don't think about IT as a potential career path. It can open up some possibilities for them. And I think that is important, learning both digital literacy and coding. It's not about learning how to code, but rather developing some kind of thinking. I think given that my background is in economics and finance, when I started my business, which is education in IT, I had to really adapt and learn everything basically from the scratch. I decided to leave my comfort zone and to attend a lot of networking events so I could connect with similar-minded people. And also I was actively seeking a mentor who would share advice with me and help me grow faster. Most valuable advice was to connect with other entrepreneurs and to join some associations that I feel close to. There I met a lot of young people who were on a similar path as me, so I got a pretty close community of people that are in this industry specifically.
Probably the most known superpower for every woman in the world is invisibility. Unfortunately, this is not only a joke, it's a problem, a real problem. What I found throughout my career is that instead of hiding my woman nature, put in value what the nature gives to us. We have a lot of curiosity, always learning. We are able to handle conflicts. We have a very high level of analytical thinking, resilience, flexibility, agility. And all the things that I mentioned are in the reality in the most core skills wanted for the workforce in the next years. Instead of looking at being a woman like a handicap or something that you should fight, I think you should highlight that you're unique, that you have a lot of education, and because of your nature, you are even better to provide better outcomes for the problems. Working as a computer engineer is challenging because you have to be always learning. All the technologies change throughout the latest 40 years impressively, since the internet era and now the AI. And what I found interesting is that you have always the FOMO, the fear of missing out. So you think that you need to be always learning, spending a lot of time studying, practicing, and so on. When I was a mother, I don't have time 24 hours to be studying all the time. So I realized that you need to put in the priorities of the technologies that you want to learn, not always the latest one that are in the hype momentum, but also on the more solid and consolidating and mature technologies. Why? Because the reality is that behind everything that you do since you wake up in the morning, switch on the light, check your mobile phone, your email. You have technology behind that. And this technology usually are the ones that are more consolidated, more mature, more stable, that provides all the resilience, the performance that people need to operate with that. So I decided to stay a little bit behind the hype. I like to say that it's like vintage computing, that are the reality that rules. I think you need to find a mission that meets your passion. And in the case of technology, you have a lot of different alternative backgrounds, companies that you will be able to work with that, for example, worried about sustainability. You can make things with computer engineering to guarantee the sustainability of the world. If you like medical, social caring, or whatever, behind all that, there is technology behind that. You need to learn, unlock the endless possibilities of the technology. I think many of the women have experienced situations that people don't trust you because you are a woman in this technology landscape. One piece of advice is that you need to be yourself. Speak up. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Be always learning from others, and also remember that you are part of a team. So teamwork, leadership is crucial in the work environment.